Welcome to the Beats and Balance podcast, a space for conversations at the intersection of creativity, healing, and community. Each week, we sit down with artists, healers, and everyday people to explore stories of transformation, resilience, and the ways we use creativity to survive and thrive. Quick thank you to our listeners. We partnered with Mantra Matcha and Severista Coffee to give you exclusive discounts. Clean, steady matcha energy and smooth, low-caffeine coffee, no jitters. Use code BALANCE.
Welcome to the Beats and Balance podcast, everybody. Today we are here with Eyerene from Brown Girls Heal, also from her event, A Brown Girls Link Up, and author of Writing So the Healing Can Begin. Really excited to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. To start off, just, I guess, tell people a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got into healing.
All right. So my name is Eyerene. I love telling my age. So I'm 38 years old. My healing journey started when I was 16 years old. When I was 16 years old, I went through, I don't want to use the word battle, but I went through a season of depression.
Mm-hmm.
And in that season of depression, it was severe enough to where I needed medication.
Mm-hmm.
And in that season of depression, I think it was probably one of the greatest seasons, although it was one of the darkest seasons, because in that it kind of taught me how to love myself, but also kind of relearning myself. So I would say that my season started, or my journey into wellness and healing started when I was 16.
Okay, cool. And I think it's similar for a lot of us. I had kind of a similar situation. I have CPTSD, so like long-term chronic depression, anxiety, all types of things from childhood trauma. And it wasn't until I was like, I don't want to say like 26 to 28 that I realized that something was wrong. You know what I mean? Like I knew something was not right, but I didn't realize that like this is not normal. And that kind of put me on this journey because it was like, oh, I got to fix myself, you know? But that can be a struggle, especially for like Black folks, because mental health is not something that historically, I mean, depending on what community you come from, because Black people obviously are not a monolith, but for a lot of folks, it's not something that's talked about, so especially not in terms of like mainstream media or Black portrayals. There's kind of stigmas around going to a therapist. And I feel like that's only recently like changed with shows like Insecure and stuff, like really mainstreaming that. For you, how was it like being so young and kind of coming to the realization, like 16? Did you feel like you had like a supportive community you could talk to, or did you have to kind of like figure stuff out on your own?
It was both. So I knew that I had community. I have amazing parents. I knew that I had community, but I feel like I was battling so much of myself. It was difficult to talk about it to anyone because I was unsure I wasn't sure of myself. I wasn't sure of what I was feeling. I wasn't sure how to properly translate what I was feeling. So although I knew I had people that I could talk to, and I would talk to them when I was able to find the words, but other than that, I knew that it was something that I genuinely had to sit in with myself.
Yeah.
And with whatever higher power, God, my ancestors, was guiding me in that season. But I knew that I had to be my primary source of healing.
And what was that like for you? Like, do you have like advice for other people that might be going through something similar?
So I'll answer the first question first. What was it like for me? Looking back at 16-year-old me, I feel like I handled it easier or better, I would say. I feel like I handled it better than I think I should have. To be 16 years old and to not have the proper education on certain things. I was familiar with mental health because I experienced it also with other members in my family. But having to deal with it within myself, I would say I handled it better than I probably should have at 16 years old. I think that being on medication at a very young age and knowing who I was when I wasn't on medication and then seeing who I was when I was on medication, I knew that I didn't want to be the person on medication. I knew that I didn't so sometimes medication, it numbs out the bad, but it also
Mm-hmm.
numbs out everything else that you're supposed to be feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the same way we're supposed to be feeling joy, we're supposed to be feeling some bit of sadness, right? That's how life operates, right? I was feeling nothing.
Yeah.
And I knew that not feeling anything wasn't normal, but I also knew that there's no way that we can heal and move past things and fix things and help, whatever it is that we're going through if we don't actually feel what it is that we're going through. I think for me, like I can actually tell you, like I actually took the pills one day and flushed them down the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew in that moment that I didn't like not being able to feel. I appreciated having deep emotions. I appreciated crying at the simplest things. I appreciated being able to express myself when I could, when my throat was activated. I appreciated being able to do those things. And medication kind of,
Yeah.
stopped me from doing that. I think the advice that I would tell someone else is definitely lean on community
Mm-hmm.
if you have community. Lean on people that you can trust. Lean on people that you don't have to question. Lean on people that you actually trust with the most intimate parts of you. Because being vulnerable to me is like being naked, right? And you
Yeah.
ain't gonna get naked in front of everybody. So it's like be around people that you know you can be naked with in all areas. And really just develop a good relationship with yourself. Like
Yeah.
really develop a good relationship with yourself and with your body, with your mind and your heart. Like all those things communicate to you. And it's really just about developing an amazing relationship with every part of your body so you'll be able to really tap in when your
Yeah.
body is telling you things. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all solid advice. I think with like what you were saying with medication, a lot of people want to numb or avoid because they're afraid to feel sad or angry. There's a lot of stigma around those feelings, but really, like you said, like you have to feel to release and move through and or
Hmm.
else it'll get stuck in your body and you end up sick in different
Yeah.
ways. So yeah, I think that's super solid advice. So let's talk about your endeavors, like how you've kind of alchemized what you've gone through and used it to kind of create healing spaces for other folks. Tell us a little bit about Brown Girl Heals or Brown Girls Heal.
Ooh, Brown Girls Heal. Before I changed my name on Instagram, I honestly can't even remember what my name was before that, like when I first started the Instagram platform. But I do remember I always share like affirmations, positive quotes, and sayings because those are the things that help me. Like those are my daily modalities, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I woke up one morning. Everything is literally I woke up one morning. I think I woke up one morning and I had an idea of creating a space for Black women.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that whatever my name was before Brown Girls Heal, I knew that it didn't match the energy of what I was trying to cultivate and what I was trying to create. That name just kind of came to me. Did a little search. I was like, oh, nobody has this. It's mine. And
That's
that's
actually
kind of
lucky.
how yeah, that's kind of how Brown Girls Heal, the Instagram platform was created. But I genuinely just wanted to start and create and cultivate a space where Black women and brown women felt safe and seen and heard and valued,
Mm-hmm.
with each other and with ourselves. I think one of my main purposes is bringing people back home to themselves because that's how my journey started. I had to come back home to myself. So I think in Brown Girls Heal and Brown Girls Link Up, I really just want to create a space that feels safe and that really feels like what community is and what community should look like and feel like.
Very dope. And I know like you just had Brown Girls Link Up the last week or the week before it just passed. It's the fourth year?
That's the fourth
Wow.
year. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um and that was in Brooklyn, yeah?
Prospect Park.
Prospect Park, very cool.
Hmm.
I used to live in Brooklyn. I kind of miss those days. But I miss Brooklyn for sure.
Yeah.
That's dope. What is the event like for people that might want to show up next year? What kind of
Ooh.
events do you have going on?
So a Brown Girls Link Up, it is a day of togetherness, wellness, sisterhood. I have amazing practitioners alongside myself that we come in and we do different workshops. that kind of target healing in different ways. So this year we had Angela who did somatic movement, and everyone knows that a lot of our tension is stored in our hips and certain parts of our bodies. And her workshop, I feel like, was so important because it really got the ladies who are sometimes sitting all day or stagnant or doing so many other things for so many other people. It allowed them the chance to get up and move their bodies and tap into community while they do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other friend, Riley and Hazella, who's an amazing singer and tarot reader, sound bowl. Listen, okay. It is a day where
Yeah.
community comes together and we just love on each other unapologetically, and we show up as ourselves, and we heal in the process of just being around one another. My goal with that event, shockingly enough, when I started, it was at the end of the pandemic.
Okay.
And my goal it was very random. I just, again, woke up one day and I was like, I want to get some women together. It doesn't have to be anything special, but we've been, forced into solitude and in some ways isolation for almost 2 years. I want us to be able to come together, have a day in the park where we just love on each other. And the first year, I did a few workshops by myself. And I kind of saw what people took from the event and how people responded to the event. And I wasn't sure if I was going to make this a yearly thing until the second year, someone reached out to me asking me, are you doing your event this year?
That's dope.
And in that moment, I was like, okay, I might have created something here.
Yeah.
But it's really just a day for us to just show up and be loved on.
I love that.
And heal in the process.
Yeah, I think that's super important. I really love things that distract from the healing that's happening, like when you can have fun and be with people and just be like not even thinking, like sometimes I think people get caught up in thinking that like trauma work or healing has to be serious and you have to be crying, and that is part of it, but also like I think a major part of it is just
tears now.
yeah, no, that's definitely a part of it. But like you said, like everything is duality, and so you definitely have to also have that like lightness and community and joy and fun. So especially after COVID, like that whole time was wild, just being cooped up like that. So I can imagine it was a huge thing for folks. I am not surprised that people reached out asking if you were doing it again, because I think that's definitely a need. And then also like tell us about, you have a book. What's the order of the things? Was it Brown Girl Heal, the Instagram, and then the Brown Girls link up popped up from that, and then the book, or the book was before?
The book was the book before the event? Oh my. I believe the book was before the event.
You stay very busy. Are you a Capricorn?
Gemini.
Okay. Writer. That makes sense.
Gemini.
Air signs.
Yeah, I believe the book was before the event.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, tell us about your book, Writing So the Healing Can Begin.
Wow. So this is another pandemic project, actually. During the pandemic, I had a whole bunch of just composition notebooks, notes at my phone. I started doing open mics more during the pandemic. And I realized how powerful poetry can be. And I've always known that because I've always written poetry. But becoming more familiar with the open mic community and the open mic spaces, I realized how transformative poetry can be, but also how healing poetry could be. I don't even know what like caused me to say, hey, put out a book. During the pandemic, it's something that I always thought about, having a project of my own and having a book. The pandemic showed me how productive we can be in stillness. And how sometimes stillness can birth productivity and creations. So I think I used that time to really do a lot of the things that I wasn't allowed to do because, we're moving so much. So the book, I took a lot of my poems from years ago. I took a lot of my poems from diary entries,
Mm-hmm.
and I just put them in a book. So it's kind of like my heart poured out on pages. But
Mm.
yeah, so that's writing so the healing can begin. And I'm actually working on my second book now.
Very cool. What
Yeah.
was that experience like? Because I know you talked about like vulnerability, feeling like being naked. Writing can be super vulnerable, and putting the work out there for the public is another whole level. So, was there work that you had to do to get up to that point where you felt like, all right, like I'm ready to be seen in this way?
Acknowledging that imposter syndrome is a false reality.
Mm.
I think that was one of the things that I had to keep reminding myself because imposter syndrome can be very strong. And our own mind is very, very powerful, even though we know the things that we're creating are really beautiful things.
Mm-hmm.
Our mind will try to talk us out of, that wonderful thought process. So I think it was really just having positive thoughts and telling myself that what I'm doing is something good. And I always say, even if you touch one person, that's all you need to touch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just constantly speaking love into myself with this project, and
Very
giving
cool.
myself grace.
Yeah, I think all super, super valuable insights. What's your second project on? Is it another book of poetry?
It is a self care book, actually,
Okay.
where I'll be talking about different modalities of self care, including the art of saying no, including how powerful our boundaries are, reciprocal relationship, shedding parts of ourselves, rebirthing parts of ourselves, energy vampires. I'm trying to touch on. Oh yeah,
I need to
I'm
get that
planning
book, man.
on everything.
I need to get I need that book. Yeah, that's real. Cool. You have to let us know when that comes out so we can
Oh, for
share it and
sure.
let everybody know. So let's talk about how you are able to balance doing all of these things. Being creative takes a lot of energy. And then also like throwing events and holding space for people is also, or can also be draining, even though it is something that
Yeah.
is life-giving, but it also takes
Mhm.
a lot of energy. And so how do you balance doing all of these things and kind of like avoiding burnout and taking care of yourself in the process?
I meditate when I can,
Mhm.
which is quite often. I actually have a lot of alarms on my phone,
Mm.
just to kind of remind me to breathe, remind me to take a break, remind me to put things down. I can be in the middle of the most important thing, and if my alarm goes off, I'm stopping
Mm.
at least for 5 or 10 seconds and just like collecting myself, finding space for joy,
Mhm.
finding space for joy, community, spending time with people, prayer, sleep,
That's huge.
sleep. I think one of the most important ones though is finding space for joy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
that's a big one.
we move so much in life and we move so much on a day to day, finding space just to do something to make yourself happy or to make yourself smile or to bring some sort of peace in your day.
Yeah,
That's where the balance is for me.
I love
Yeah.
that. Do you feel like you've created like a routine for yourself? Or you kind of just like, as you feel it, go with the flow?
I go with the flow.
Yeah.
I try to create routines that does not work for me. So I would say I'm sort of in the middle. Like I try my best to be on a routine, but essentially I am going with the flow.
Yeah, I was a
Hmm.
personal question for me because I'm also an air sign. I'm a Libra, and I do not do well with routines. And I
Yeah.
thought,
No.
in talking to all these spiritual healing folks, everybody's like, "Yeah, you gotta have a routine," and I'm just like, "Bro, I've tried it. Like, it
Yeah.
stresses me out more."
The
But
only
it,
the only routine I would say is extremely valuable is waking up early.
well, yeah, I feel that.
That
I can't
routine and
help it.
working out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Those
need
two
to hop back
routines I
on the
try
working
to
out.
be consistent with, but everything else, no. I'm flowing. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like when I feel validated that there's more than one way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I'm very much like if I feel called, then I feel called, and I go on everything I do is kind of just based on energy, and every day is kind of like I woke up and I'm like, all right, so what's the download today?
Yes.
Um, and I feel like that was something that took a long time to feel comfortable doing, because I think we're, I don't know, programmed, I guess, to think that the world has to like run a certain way, and you have to be on this kind of like 9 to 5 grind. And your productivity has to happen within these certain hours, and success has to look this certain way.
No,
Yeah. So
I'm
I
very
think,
big on no matter what the obligations are, if you don't finish it today, it can be done tomorrow.
yeah, I love
That's,
that.
yeah, no. Mhm.
I love that. I love that. All right. So looking ahead, what kind of dreams or visions do you have in terms of like expanding your work? Are you going to have the event next year? Is it always the same time so people know where to
Oh,
find you
yeah.
at?
This event is a yearly thing. It won't stop. I
Can't
am
stop, won't stop.
dedicated. I am dedicated to keeping this event going. It's in August every year, the beginning of August, Prospect Park, Southwest.
Okay.
I actually had it on that side for the first time this year. I usually have it on Ocean Parkway,
Yeah.
and it's just so much traffic on that side of the park. So this side actually really worked out for us. But Prospect Park Southwest, it's from 12 to 5.
Okay. It's a nice
12
chunk of
to
time.
5. I definitely recommend people getting there. I like to say on time, but I know that's not realistic. But I recommend people getting there early just so they can experience the event in full,
Mm-hmm.
and experience all of the workshops that we have. Every year, I think about how I can be, I don't want to say be better, but add more to the
Mm-hmm.
space and give community more. So I will definitely say if you are a practitioner and would like to share your service, yes, definitely, definitely, definitely connect with me because I love the team that I have, and I'm going to keep using the team that I have because I love the women that are in my life, and I want
Mm-hmm.
them to continue to be a part of this event. And I also want to keep adding
Yeah.
women to this event because we're all so gifted and so talented and masters at what we do. Like you are a master at what you do. I can't do what you do. Right. And there's not a lot of people that can, do what you do. And you literally said you had call after call after call, and then you have to edit and then you have to put things together. You're a master at what you do.
Appreciate
Um,
you. Doesn't feel
and
like
I
that,
think
but
that, I think that all Black women, we're very much masters in our skill. And it's important that we don't gatekeep
mm,
ourselves from each
yeah.
other. And it's important that we really, just share our art and share our heart and share what we know with the next woman and intake what she knows. Yeah.
I love that. All right, so everybody listening, if you are in the tri-state New York area, because you don't have to just be in Brooklyn, make sure you reach out. I'm in Philly, and Millie told me about it like literally the day
Lily's right
before.
there.
Yeah, but I had a podcast interview at 2 p.m. that day, so it was like right in the
Okay.
middle of the hours, and it takes
No,
like
not
two
even the
hours.
event, meaning we're like close.
Oh yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like
Like
next
New
time,
York,
let you know.
Philly.
Yeah, so I'm like next time with some advanced notice, because I
Oh
do
yeah.
Reiki, I do not acupuncture, I do healing things as well. So happy to donate my services and skills, because that's what this is all about. This whole platform is just about building community.
Yeah.
It was born from me being in a really lonely, depressed place after my
Mm,
wife passed, feeling super isolated. I moved to Philly with my wife, and then she passed, and then I was here by myself. So it
very
really
human, by
was
the way.
just, no, yeah, I appreciate that. But it really was just like healing for me. Like, what did I do to
Hmm.
heal myself, and how can I spread that to other people? And then also, like, all right, how can I link up with people who are on the same kind of wavelength? Because I feel like it's super important to protect your energy when you're in vulnerable
Absolutely.
space, you know.
Hmm.
So this way I can connect and still be in my own little bubble. I don't gotta like see
Yeah.
people in person, but we still connect.
Hmm.
So all that is to say, I think everything that you're doing is super important. I love to hear people's triumph stories, because like when you've personally dealt with depression, you know how deep and dark it can get, and you can get into like these loops of feeling like nothing's going to get better. And every time I
Mm.
hear somebody speak about how they got through something or how they were able to alchemize it into healing for other people, I just think that's super beautiful. And I think that's the point, right? Like it makes you feel like
Hmm.
all this wasn't for nothing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think was Super cool. All right. So anything else that you would like to plug or talk about that we didn't mention?
I can show a copy of my book. I realize I got it. Wait, let me show it. So yes, this is
it's
what my book
pretty.
looks like.
Very pretty.
I do have a website, browngirlsheal.com, and the book is on the website. And I also make really cute tote bags with affirmations
Love
on
that.
them. So those are on my website as well. And yeah, next year, August, Brown Girls Link Up. Hopefully my second book will be out in 20. Oof. I like to give myself deadlines with books. Even though the deadlines are reality, but it keeps me on some sort of timeline. Hopefully by end of 2026.
All right.
Hopefully.
Put that out there in the universe.
But I said it here, so it's already in the universe. So
that's what I'm saying.
The book will probably be out by 2026.
I feel it. I feel that it will be done. Ashe. Yeah, we'll definitely, let us know, and we'll do some promo, and hopefully we'll still be existing then. I feel we will. And we just started, but yeah,
we will
still be here in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely let us know, and let's link up and collab and do all the things, and continue to bring community for Black women and beyond. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast and sharing your story with everybody. Yeah, being vulnerable, being naked in this way in front of all these people.
Thank you.
Hopefully are listening.
And thank you for making this a safe space.
Yeah.
And for the work that you do with bringing Black women together and bringing community together. It's very important what you do.
Yeah, no, we are all we have, so I think that, times are rough right now, and it's easy to fall into despair and think that everybody is evil. And I think that what the world needs more of is just like, no, like there's still people out here like trying to just do good things and live normal lives. So that's all I'm trying to showcase with this, is that there's still hope out there for the rest of us that are just trying to like do good things and just live and enjoy the earth that we've been born onto. So yeah, I'm gonna stop preaching. But for everybody listening, we will have all of the links to Brown Girls Heal and the website and Brown Girls Link Up and all that stuff, so you can check it out. And thank you so much for listening. And we will be back next Thursday. Until then, see you guys.
Our vibes stay sacred. Our roots run deep.